Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Locked In. I'm Sam Rodriguez,
My name is Megan Holden.
and we're here to discuss the top NBA and NFL news going on in the world. So I have a trivia question for you guys. Who was called Agent Zero in the NBA? Whose nickname was that?
That's on some spy stuff. Under the radar NFL news for this week, Vikings running back Dalvin Cook has said he wants a David Johnson type contract, which is about $13 million per year, and he's willing to hold out for team activities to get that contract. It's going to be interesting to see. I mean, he has injury history, but he is a productive running back. Bears head coach Matt Nagy ends virtual offseason a week and a half early. He's happy with where the team is at. He wants the players to focus more on their bodies. Talking about coaches are able to return back to facilities. As well as that, Bucs head coach Bruce Arians says the reason why the Buccaneers haven't signed Devontae Freeman, the former Atlanta running back, is because the price tag's too high. Buccaneers don't really have much cap room, a little bit over $4.5 million. If to sign him, he says Devontae Freeman has to lower that asking price.
All right, so NBA news. While the players are in Disney, if they end up leaving Disney World for any reason, any family reason as such, they are subject to a 10-day quarantine. So this could mean if they have a game, they won't be able to play in until they're done with the 10 games. So say a Giannis leaves. That leaves the Bucs vulnerable for any game that'll happen, and they have to test negative for 2 tests.
First off, who wants to leave Disney World? But someone has to get LeBron to leave Disney World real quick. Maybe
No,
some
LeBron's
tacos.
not leaving Disney World.
Maybe on Tuesday a taco truck pull up.
You can keep the taco truck in Disney. Then you got the Lakers thinking about bringing back DeMarcus Cousins to run the finals because he is fully healthy now and they have one spot left open. They do already have JaVale McGee and Dwight Howard, but DeMarcus, you can put him at the 4, and he can stretch the floor easily to help them out.
It's going to be interesting to see where he goes because the Heat is also considered in talks with him too. So it'll be interesting.
I'm not worried about the Heat at all. Not worried.
People sleep on the Heat.
I'll keep sleeping on them. I'll take a nice nap on them. All right, and then the NBA, because there's not going to be any fans, they might be pumping in crowd noise from NBA 2K.
That would be
hilarious. I think is going to be a very bad idea. I play the game, it just screams the whole time.
No, it's not.
I'd rather them just play music. I'd rather them just play music the whole time.
Yeah, either that or the mic up. Do the mic up.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. So lastly, they're shipping in NBA teams' courts, their personalized courts, to Disney World. So for a Lakers against Clippers, the Lakers home game, they'll have the Lakers court in. Then the Clippers home game, they'll switch the court to the Clippers. I find that pretty cool. I think that's going to give teams a more home-like advantage feel.
So on to our topics for today. First topic, there's been some more smoke about Bradley Beal if he's going to be traded. Recently incarcerated Bob Insider usually is ahead of the news that the Lakers are expressing interest in trading for Bradley Beal later on this fall when he's able to be traded because he just signed an extension. Also, teams in that is 76ers, the Heat, the Nets, and Blazers. So it's going to be interesting to see where he's go. Previously, the GMs had denied the rumors, and Bradley Beal even said himself previously that he would like to stick it out with the team and stay. But we heard that before. I mean, most recently, Anthony Davis. So you can't really hold too much to it. When there's smoke, there's fire usually. And I don't think Bradley Beal's too happy with the organization, with how they're losing. And it's not really clear where they're going. So with that said, how do you feel about Bradley Beal as a player? Do you think what's his value? And where do you see him getting traded?
So Bradley Beal's a superstar. He's one of the top shooting guards in the league. He can shoot the 3. He can drive in. He's basically a shooting guard that you want. But the Wizards, they need to go into rebuild mode. I don't care what they say. They don't make it no matter what. Even when John Wall's healthy, their full team's healthy, they're not going anywhere. Washington's just not a destination where people want to flock to build a super team. But I don't see teams like Lakers. I don't see how they can trade for him. Everyone they have is on a 1-year contract, really. So, yeah, whatever. All right, but everyone's on a 1-year contract, really. I don't see how they can trade for him. They lost all their draft picks trading for Anthony Davis. The only person they could trade is Kyle Kuzma, which I don't think that'd be an equal trade.
No.
Then the Heat do have some players they can trade. I could see that happening. So he'd fit in with Jimmy Butler, but Jimmy would have to move to that 3 spot to play small forward. But I don't see how they would mesh. But honestly, I think if they do trade him, the top destination is going to be the Pelicans because they just got a lot of people they can trade out. And they have draft picks. They just got like 6 from the Lakers, 3 from the Lakers. And pairing him with Zion will help like spread the floor more.
Man, you just stole my explodes. I was gonna do that hot take, Pelicans take, but my take on Beal as a player is a little bit different. He is, I feel like, a great a number two guy, a great third guy, and he's not really a number one guy. He's great offense. He can score. He's inconsistent on the 3-point line, but also his defense is horrific. I think he actually has the lowest plus and minus defense rating for his position in the entire NBA. So, with that said, if you're going to trade him, you can't pair him up with another guard that is not good at defense. You can't, if you say Celtics, him and Kemba will not be well together. It won't work. Warriors, right? Warriors had that pick, Andrew Wiggins. Him and Steph Curry won't work together. And then if you talk about Miami Heat, I think that would be a nice connection, him and Jimmy Butler. But then who are you going to give up to him? Bam and Tyler, but then you're in the same boat as Wizards because then you got two, guards and not really much surrounding pieces around them. And so who I look at as who's candidates to trade them, and I think they will eventually get to that point where they have to trade them because they're just kind of stuck right now. The 76ers. Now him and Ben would be nice. Now it would be interesting. How about Joel for Bradley Beal? Now
that's an uneven trade.
That's uneven trade. But hear me out, because Joel, I feel like, is a better player, but he's more injured, obviously. But then obviously you include picks. We've seen the Beal and the Wall is not enough. Maybe try Wall and Embiid, and then Ben Simmons has the guy he has a score around him. What I think is the best scenario for both Beal as a player and the teams involved, I think, is New Orleans Pelicans, because they have the young pieces that if the Wizards want to rebuild, Pelicans can give them picks. They can give them young players. They can give them Lonzo, Drew Holiday, players they can build on. Pelicans get a star where they can pair up with Zion, and they also have still nice building pieces they can pair around him. He doesn't want to be overshadowed, so him going to the Lakers, I feel like he needs the ball. He needs to score. I feel like he'll be overshadowed with LeBron and Anthony Davis. I'm not sure how much that will be shared.
Yeah, the NBA would probably veto the trade to the Lakers like they did with Chris Paul getting traded there to play at Kobe. They vetoed that.
Laker fans are forever going to cry about that.
Dude, we're fine. All right. On to the next topic. Speaking on Colin Kaepernick, do you feel, with everything going on right now, he's going to get another shot in the NFL?
He did get blackballed, but I feel like he should at least compete for a starting spot, a QB spot right now, not just because of that, but also because he's a capable QB. But when he came in, he was great. He went to the Super Bowl. His record in the playoffs is 4-2. He's proven something that's not a lot of QBs are in this league. I mean, Mitch Trubisky in Chicago. You got Josh Allen in Buffalo. You got so many Kirk Cousins in Minnesota. There's not a lot of guys that really, especially when they get to the playoffs, can perform like Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins' numbers actually go down in the playoffs. Now, people could say that, oh, well, he's not a good enough quarterback because of these 2015-2016 season he declined. But people don't look at what happened during those seasons. Harbaugh left. Chip Kelly, if anyone numbers Chip Kelly, number the Eagles, came in. He had one of the worst O-lines in the league. He had a declining Bolden, and then a Torrey Smith next following year for his top wide receivers. He didn't really have weapons around him. He was coming off an injury in 2015 for his hand and his shoulder. So, I mean, I feel like he never got a fair shot. There was a lot of things that were changing, and he was dealing with injuries and not a great supporting cast. What did people expect? And if you compare his numbers to other players, 5 years, 12,236 yards, touchdown and interception ratio 4.3 to 1.8, QB rating 88.9, and completion percentage 59.8. Another quarterback, touchdown to interception ratio 4.9 to 1.9. Then you have QB rating 88.2. Then you have a 61.9 quarterback completion percentage. Another one, 56.3 completion percentage, 3.8 touchdown rating to a 2.7 interception rating, 78.2 QBR. So all those quarterbacks, you have Kaepernick, Foles, and you have Josh Allen. Allen and Foles are basically the starting jobs in Chicago and Buffalo. Kaepernick's numbers is right there and better, but still he's outside starting job. Makes no sense to me. There's even QBs like Joe Flacco, Mr. Trubisky, Marcus Mariota. His numbers are all better than, but they got at least opportunity to compete for a starting job or to back up maybe a QB that's maybe not ready yet, or if someone gets hurt, but Colin can't get the same opportunity. If you're really saying that you letting people protest and that you're for the protest, then really actually match your actions with your words. And I feel like sign the man. Now I'm not saying that he's gonna come back and he's gonna be like this amazing QB. He's gonna be, Patrick Mahomes or whatever. No, but I feel like he's still good enough to be at least an average starting QB, and someone that maybe not rookie QB or second year QB can learn behind. I don't think he deserves a fair shot to at least compete for a starting QB spot. And I'm looking at teams like Jaguars, I'm looking at teams like Redskins, I'm looking at teams like Chicago Bears.
So I think it depends on if he can still play or not. Because, like you said, 2016, that was 4 years ago right now.
Mm-hmm.
I say if they are going to give him a shot, bring him preseason at least. Let him play a game in the preseason, see how he does. Take him to the training camp. Because when he played, he was great. He made the Super Bowl. They choked against the Ravens. So that was like an all-defensive historic team right there.
But he still put up numbers. They came close. That was a close game.
Exactly. Yeah, he was hurt 15, 16, but he looks good now. The workout he did, it looked good. I think if he's going to do it, Goodell has to come and let him in. They have to have a conversation before anything because I feel like there's a bunch of tension between them two. And everything going on right now, I feel like it's the best time to give him the shot. But it just depends on which team can use him. Because there's some teams that are content with who they have. Like the Jets believe Joe Flacco will help them out, which I don't know why. But they actually believe he can help. The Bears believe Nick Foles is going to be their savior over Mr. Trubisky. It's just about if a team feels like they need someone else. And a lot of teams in the NFL right now feel like they have the pieces and they trust their guys way too much. Like I just feel Josh Allen in Buffalo, I feel like he's going to do phenomenal this season.
Phenomenal is a big word.
He's going to do phenomenal this season with Stephon Diggs added on.
Horrible. He went from horrible to bad. Where's he going to be this season? Not so bad? Like,
what do you mean? The Bills this season were amazing.
Not because of him.
You can't be good without a good quarterback. What do you mean?
They didn't go – how far they got in the playoffs? Like, how good were they?
They made the playoffs.
Okay, but so that's not saying much. They're limited by their QB. They have a great supporting cast. They have a great defense. They have a decent offense, but they're limited. That man is not accurate.
They had no receivers, really. Now they're adding Stephon Diggs.
He's not good at making decisions. He takes too long. He's not the guy. Okay, but let's say this. No one's saying, like, sign Kaepernick, make him a starter right away, but at least give him a shot to compete. At least give him a shot to either learn from those guys and if Josh Allen wins, Josh Allen wins. If Nick Foles wins, Nick Foles wins. The better man wins. But at least let's see what happens in preseason. And if not, you get a good backup.
I'm agreeing with you. I'm just saying teams like that believe they have the pieces they need, so they're not going to go out and get someone. But like the Jaguars, they can go out and sign someone. They need quarterbacks. Like saying that teams that are like desperate for quarterbacks can start looking towards him, not teams that feel like they're comfortable.
I feel like there's no risk in signing for competition, even if you're comfortable with the quarterback you have now. And I don't believe that comfortable thing because, like we just said, Jets just signed Joe Flacco. There's Oakland Raiders signed Marcus Mariota. Like, I'm not too sure about who's really comfortable and who just doesn't want to take the risk. And people are gonna say, "Oh, well, he had a chance with the Broncos and the Ravens." Well, Broncos, that was before the season, before he started protesting. That's where that interest started. So that right there out of the way. The Ravens thing, I'm not even sure how much they were interested. If they got to keep talking to Ray Lewis about if they're gonna sign him, I doubt that they're saying his girlfriend tweeted something and not ruin the interest. I doubt that. I don't think the girlfriend's gonna tweet something that, was saying stuff bad about the Ravens if she really thought the Ravens were gonna sign him. I just want to see, like, just give him a fair chance. Just give him a fair chance, especially the teams that need a QB. What's the worst that can happen? You sign him, and then if he competes, he wins a starting job. If he doesn't, then he doesn't. But at least give him the shot. I think he deserves a shot because, like I said, he was at his worst. He was still an average QB.
Yeah, he'll get a shot. I just don't know which team it'll be this season. But with a little bit of time left, talking about the NBA draft with the Warriors, if they do get a top 1-2 pick, do you think they should trade the pick or they should draft?
They have the worst record in the league, so they have good odds of getting top pick. If they got a top pick, I still think they should trade it just because they have to max out the window they have. They have they have star players on their team. They have Steph Curry, they have Klay Thompson, they got Draymond Green. You got to max out that window. Drafting a young guy who's going to have to sit behind those guys for years and not really, get the opportunity to maybe get the ball is not really going to help that player. You can maybe get that player when you actually start the rebuilding process. You're not in rebuilding right now. You're contending. The only reason why you are where you are is because of injuries. I feel like you just package that. Maybe with the Wiggins, you can maybe get a guy, like I said before, like Joel, who can help you with, with center defense. How about Draymond Green, Devon Mitchell, who is not too happy with the Jazz and Rudy Gobert. So one of them's going to have to be traded because they said there's a lot of rumors that when they come back, Rudy Gobert and Mitchell's probably not going to work together because of everything that happened. And Mitchell has a contract coming up. He's still on a rookie contract, so that will work. Maybe, pair Wiggins with that pick. Maybe you can get Mitchell. I think that would be a nice piece. If not, then if you want to just get a good supporting cast and maybe get a pick for later, maybe another draft later down the road and kick the can down the road, maybe get Sabonis or JJ Redick to help the supporting cast you have now. I feel like you just have a window and it makes the most sense to max it out to win as much championships as you can. To get a player right now just to wait on a bench won't make too much sense for me.
I say if they get that number 1 pick, you draft Jameis Wiseman.
There's a lot of questions, though.
Listen, all right? He was top center in the draft, supposed to be number 1, played for Memphis. You saw what he did in the games they allowed him to play in. Then they tell him you can't play. He's going to be even more hungrier to play now and prove himself because they kicked him out. And the Warriors need a center. You put in a young, hungry guy like that. They've had like Kevin Looney and like Andrew Bogut. They haven't had like a true good center. You put him in there, keep Wiggins. Have Curry, Klay Thompson, Wiggins. He's a better Harrison Barnes for them. He's gonna fit their system perfectly. Draymond Green, he's all right, but you add a Jameis Wiseman at center. He's 7'1". He's gonna give them the height they need. They can keep their backups, and they got to start building depth because that's their issue. They don't have depth. They were amazing when they had Kevin Durant because they had 4 superstars on one team. Now everyone's starting to go down. You see Draymond Green starting to go down. He started getting injuries all the time. Didn't want to play. You need someone that's going to be young and be ready to go and help for when they leave. If you wait too long, there might not be another one like this in that draft, say next year or such.
Let's look at this NBA draft right now because there's a lot of questions around this NBA draft, and that guy's not even projected to go number 1. It's Edwards or Ball, who both have question marks. And there's no really complete play. There's a lot of playmakers there's questions with effort. There's questions with defense. There's no one with like full capabilities. A lot of questions. So maybe if you trade back the pick, get some bench players, and maybe, like I said, kick the can right down low. Because I think that the Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, especially now with the field more even, everyone got 2, still have a couple years, I think, for a shot for the NBA championship.
They need a center. They need someone big. They don't really have anyone that can play defense on that team besides Klay Thompson and Draymond. And Jameis Wiseman can play defense. He was a top defensive player in high school and college for when they allowed him to play. I think he's going to be the top choice if they should get.
But then when he comes in right away, they got to plug him in. And how long is that going to take? That's a lot of raw talent. I think that maybe pair that pick with Wiggins and get Gobert or Joel Embiid.
No, don't trade Wiggins. They're not going to trade him. He fits their system perfectly.
But like they don't really need the biggest need, right? You said is like one is also bench and also a big man that can defend.
So why trade when you already have Wiggins and then
Wiggins not a superstar?
Yeah, but they don't need him to be a superstar. They need him to play a Harrison Barnes role, and he's going to play a better Harrison Barnes role than he did.
So do you think when Curry and Klay comes back, do you think that he can still uphold that type play when he doesn't have a ball?
Yeah, because he's not going to have to be a superstar. In Minnesota, he had to be the main guy, him and Carl. Now he doesn't have to be. He can play his role play.
I'd rather have, especially with that contract, I'd rather have Joel Embiid than Andrew Wiggins.
I don't see the 76ers trading Joel, honestly, especially to the Warriors.
Not. It's the other conference. They don't have to worry about competition. And the Ben Simmons and the Joel Embiid doesn't work. I mean, they need shooters. Teams just clog the middle, and the offense right there stops. So it's not working. I feel like they need to trade either Joel or Ben, and I feel like they're gonna go with Joel. And they need to get a shooter. They need someone that can spread the floor for Ben Simmons that fits better with him.
I think the Warriors will draft. I don't see them trading it. That's just my take on that right now. I see Jameis Wiseman going there and helping them out.
I feel like there's a lot of talk of them not trading it so they can increase the value of the pick. Because like all the teams do, like, oh no, I want to keep it, increase it. If everyone knows that you want to trade something, the value of it goes down. Or you want to get rid of it. but I think they trade that. And they end up trading at least for a superstar or a lot of supporting cast and maybe a pick for later down the road.
And all right, to wrap it all up, I'm going to answer this trivia question. So the question was, who was nicknamed Agent Zero in the NBA? And that is Gilbert Arenas, the one and only. He was a great player in his time.
He did have a couple great years, and he was like unguardable at one point. Thank you guys for tuning in for Locked In. Let us know any comments or any topics you'd like us to cover in the future. And you guys have a good, safe week. Enjoy the weather.